Today we're upgrading this to this. And finally showing you some of our favorite toys.
I refuse.
So let's check it out.
Believe it or not, we've been in this new studio for almost 3 years now, and we still haven't done a proper studio tour. However, we have acquired some really cool stuff that I think is worth sharing. So first off, I'm calling our studio Bert, spelt with a U and short for Bertha, and we'll be making this a new series where we build this studio together. Yeah, you and me. So comment any ideas you've got throughout this video of any upgrades that you think we should do. Starting off first with the open lounge area we initially wanted as a place to chill, doom scroll, and watch ourselves on a big screen. We've got theater seating from Valencia, which is plush and reclines, regular sofa from Cozy, which is surprisingly comfortable when we actually get a chance to sit on them, because unfortunately lately it's turned into a storage area. We'll have to work on that. Anyways, right beside that is what you all see in every video, and I've torn it apart to redo some of the lighting and swap out some collectibles on the shelves, which we'll show off more in depth later. But inside the first room to the right of that is our office space. It's nothing special. The team cooks in here as we edit, send emails, and open boxes. On the right side we have Steph's desk, where she handles all the business side of things and loves all things gotchas. Beside her is Jaden, our videographer and editor, who claims to have a clean desk, which is really only carried through by this beautiful Apple display, while he's basically always in this position, even while editing. So shout out to Secret Labs for making chairs that are too comfortable to actually do any work in. Behind them is the extremely sad IT infrastructure we have, a cheap wooden IKEA frame with our NAS begging to be turned off on the bottom. I've got an odd obsession with fun clocks, so that'll be a whole series on its own, and if you know of any unique and cool ones, let me know down below. And then there's my desk in the corner with a giant unused 2024 calendar, even though we're in 2025, which sums up my desk setup pretty well. A lot of knickknack paddywhacks lying around, things I can just pick up and fidget with, look at and bring joy, and as long as no one touches anything, I'll know exactly where everything is supposed to be. Back into the studio space though, it's essentially one giant basement. Now, we love drawers and trying to stay organized. We've got ones for tapes, Velcro, elastics, wires, chargers, and every type of screw. Then there's our gear peg wall, which as you can tell is half complete because I was fully over setting it up. There's more drawers for camera gear, even though we only use like one lens 90% of the time, audio equipment, monitors, and extra mounts just in case, and a lot of magnets, especially on things that aren't magnetic for quick access. The backside of the studio contains even more stuff. We've organized a lot of it since we shot this, but we are proud of finding these baker trays that we use for really short items so we can optimize the amount of storage we could have in a smaller space. Plus a custom wooden shelf that my dad built, which unfortunately gets a little too heavy, and as you can tell, we have tried a lot of solutions for our hoarding, storage problem. These shelves from Uline are great but very expensive. And then there's Jarvis, which I thought we'd have a lot more floor space to roll things around. Nope, it's all taken up by storage. There's also a second office which is being converted into another studio set for our second channel, MSTRBOX, where Steph unboxes a ton of gotchas, mystery boxes, and toys in general to try and chase the gems. So definitely subscribe to that channel, link below if you're also a child at heart with adult money. More storage experiments in front of that room, and our third room is actually dedicated for archive storage. Products we might still use when we curate future videos, all somewhat organized categorically, like keyboards, sling bags, and travel stuff too. Our kitchen light is out right now, but honestly a blessing to have one in the studio at all, with the real flex for all my fellow Asians, a Zojirushi hot water dispenser, because if you know, you know. We have two toilets in this studio, this one being my personal one. It's spacious, and the previous tenant actually built in a shower, which I have used once. But honestly, the second washroom has the better view anyways. Oh, it's also beside what we call the dungeon, which we may or may not have a whole episode on later. And how can we forget the infamous bag wall, which y'all gotta let me know if we should bring back the What's in My Bag series some more, because we actually love doing those. But back to the main point of this episode, our studio backdrop. the tiny piece of the studio you all see the most. So what matters even more is making sure it's lit properly. And a huge shout out to Govee for partnering with us on this and providing every type of lighting we needed. Strip lights, bar lights, and even super flexible ones too. There isn't a nook or cranny that isn't going to be seen. So first up, cleaning up the old gear we don't need anymore. Mainly the large roll down backdrop, since we've never actually used it for the last 3 years we were here. And seeing it all come down was actually quite satisfying because we've never been so clean. Anyways, here's what we're aiming for. So starting off with some simple strip lights to give the shelvings a glowing effect on the backside. These diffuse nicely with a range of colors to choose from, plus they simply just stick on with the included double-sided tape too. Connecting to the app makes controlling them easy, and you can even add Google Home, Alexa, or Apple HomeKit to control them through shortcuts and automations too. Now within the shelves themselves, while they are tall, they're also very deep, so it does get pretty scary inside, and we're actually using their permanent outdoor lighting kit, mainly because we need it to wrap around every shelf in one go, so we don't need multiple outlets, which these come in handy as it can reach up to 200 feet. Perfect as it's designed to be wrapped around a roof of a house, so a shelf is no biggie. The double-sided tape works amazing as long as everything is prepped properly, and they also include cable mounts, so you don't see anything left dangling around. It's super satisfying once you get it all wired up and you turn it on for the first time, especially since we had to cut some of the wooden boards to size and we didn't have an electric saw. Turns out Zhiyun is also a great handyman too. For accent lighting, these TV bars give a really cool spaceship vibe without breaking the bank, and Govee also has outdoor floodlights too, which I think were designed for the ground but worked perfectly as an overhead light for the whole set, giving us the ability to change the vibe of the video with a different color every time. Finally, I found this power bar from Prime Cables, clutch with how many it can fit on a single strip. Then, well, bam! I've got it connected to Google, so I can just say, "Hey Google, turn on backdrop," and it never gets old. So let's start filling the shelves up. And as you may have noticed, we're a huge fan of helmets, and while Iron Man started it all, Machine56 took it to the next level for me. The Nike Bear Brick is a given, and some recent Blackout Cause pickups because, come on. The Rolex Panda Man, a tatted Winnie the Pooh, and more Gundam heads too. Plus, while we were filming this, we received what DJ Khaled would say, another one. And what makes Machine56 so special? They're handcrafted with a limited number per helmet. This one only has 68 available. However, I do not recommend anyone else dropping $1,000 on this, unless you're cool AF, like we are. The graphics, color combinations, and even premium hardware shows their focus on detail, and the chances you'll ever see another one is pretty slim to none. To finish off the lighting, we've got some Zhiyun photo lights, simply because they're tiny yet sport a very bright output, as they're designed for photo and video work. Plus, they also look really futuristic too. And after some DIY problem solving, nothing a drill can fix these days, we can now light up the front pieces, especially since they're all blacked out too. We actually use Zhiyun around the studio as well, especially their Molus G300 cob light, a tiny plug-in light that can output 300 watts, which makes for a convenient solution we can roll around the studio on wheels, as it's also got a range of color temperatures to adapt to other lighting situations, and you're able to attach different covers for softer or more direct lighting too. The power supply has a built-in fan, so it can manage itself while we shoot for hours every day. Finally, there are so many goated pieces on this shelf. It honestly deserves a video talking about each on its own, so let me know if that's something you'd want to watch, because come on. A huge shout out to Valerion for not only having the coolest brand and product name, but for also supporting our channel and helping us build out our studio into a working beast with this, their VisionMaster Pro 2, a 4K triple laser projector sporting a 3000 ISO lumen output, which means yes, it can work during the daytime while looking like it's straight out of Star Trek or something. Because the first thing you'll notice is how noticeable it is. It's essentially a centerpiece for the room with its silver grills, clean front plate, and even the adjustable kickstand on the bottom is better than new. Setup was a breeze though, pretty much plug and play, combined with the automatic keystone correction, which basically aligns everything for you without having to constantly adjust the projector itself. It's got Google TV OS, so you simply sign in and get everything up and running right away. And let me tell you, hands down, this is one of the sharpest 4K projectors we've tested. Being able to project up to 300 inches That's like more than your entire house basically. We tested it at about 100 inches and the details on screen shine through, especially with the text and range of colors. But with its 3000 lumen output, even during the day, we could easily watch my favorite YouTube channel on repeat myself. Combined with plenty of ports around back, specifically the 3 HDMI ports for all your favorite consoles that you never play anymore. It also supports Chromecasting, but my favorite feature definitely goes to AirPlay too. So I can now doom scroll in 4K on a 100-inch screen now too. Plus with Google Home, Apple HomeKit, and Alexa controls, it's the ultimate tech home decor upgrade that makes everything else around it look a little more expensive too. Don't worry, if you're balling on a budget, they also offer the ScreenMaster Plus 2 version. You still get the 300-inch screen size, 4K and Google TV, but in an affordable body with the same amount of style.
So let me know, what room should we upgrade next? But that's it. I rest my alter ego.